game that you guys are really looking forward to here, and that is Redemption. They are a team that has been incredible throughout the last split, and they have looked to, well, the last regional, and looked to try and build upon that here.
Yeah, like Gibbs said. Oh my goodness, hold on.
Wait, the curling kids are up!
Yeah,
yes!
I was going to mention something that Gibbs said, but that pales in comparison to this goal from Rexo. Huge block on Arsalan's clear. Already, the curling kids showing up huge.
And getting into the theme of it as well, Creamy is using the most Christmassy car I have ever seen. He is in the spirit.
I think he's just got all the Christmas items on right now.
Oh, well, that wasn't very Christmassy.
Sorry, you won't get to see him for about 4 seconds there, because he was completely smashed from behind. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the Creamy car that he's got on display here. It's very rare to see a Rocket League car being used by a pro player in RLCS with so many bits sticking out of it. They usually tend to go for the cleaner looking cars because it gives you the placebo effect that you're moving faster. Clearly, Creamy doesn't care about all that.
Creamy has never been taught about aerodynamics, quite obviously. As Oslon will move on through. Cash looking to do a tadpole impression. Bit more difficult from his angle, though. This is really a series that we would be expecting Redemption to not only go for on, but to sort of solid, you know, make it a bit more solid. The idea that they are one of those top teams to start looking out for. Oh, like that. Almost brought them straight back into it. Cash looking to keep that pressure on. Does get the demo. It's going to float onto the goal line, and they've missed it. Goodness. Mike Boy watches it just drop straight past him. The other thing, the goal has to come at some point soon. A touch like that from Cash, though, isn't going to help out with that. And the curling kids are still in the lead. Oh, that felt good to say.
It's a bit of a tilting position to be in, though, for Redemption. And I was going to mention earlier on, Gibbs had a good point. They weren't able to perform anywhere near as well in the lower bracket of the last regional. Here comes Creamy for the second goal. Mind game on the air dribble. And the curling kids lead by 2.
This is every advent calendar he's had all year. Just all in one for that goal.
Christmas has come early for Creamy.
Christmas is every day for Creamy.
Does it have the same effect if Christmas is every day? I think it might lose its novelty. We'll have to ask him later. That's my number one question to Creamy in the winners interview after the series, if they can take it. I was going to mention, though, so we've got the fact that Redemption have been sent to the lower bracket by being reverse swept. That's a little bit tilting. Obviously, they've had the whole day to reset, or whole night to reset, I should say. But now they're up against a team that they're heavy favorites against. And they've been scored on once by a dunk goal, once by a mind game goal. Like, I'm adding all this up. This is all quite annoying. Oh, one on goal! Rexo! Somebody get him a map! That's the wrong way!
Nope. Okay. Christmas is all about giving rather than taking. Okay?
Well, maybe it was can we call that a back pass? The question is, if he said back pass before the ball reached before the ball reached Creamy, then it was a back pass, and nobody can argue about that. But if he didn't say back pass fast enough, then it's not a back pass, and
it's the same rule for whiffs, isn't it? If you stay faking,
if you stay faking
miss
before
the ball,
it happens,
you officially. Oh, there we go.
Oh.
Creamy, he's up to a brace.
What a game!
And yeah, this has been great fun.
I can already imagine what kind of tweet Rettles is concocting at the moment for us. The fear that he must be currently experiencing, witnessing this EU Rocket League. Clearly the better region, Shogun.
I don't know what the response to that one is, dude. I'm in awe of all of the colors on Creamy's car. He's going to look to try and get the hat trick. He's got it!
He's done it again!
Hat trick hero for Creamy!
Unreal. Look at him.
Wow, that should be the game. Curling kids would have to choke this.
Look at that. He boosts in a straight line and flips into the ball. Perfect technique for the open net. That's confidence. That is a hat trick. A beautiful hat trick for Creamy.
Okay, let's pull this back to reality real quick. What is going on? This has not been...
What's going on is we need to see the curling kids versus NRG. The only matter is when. I mean, with how confident the curling kids are looking, I think they'd take NRG any server, any day, any time. And so, yeah, NRG, I guess you just got to say when, and the curling kids are going to be there.
I'm up for that. I'm up for that every single day. Wise boy, or Mike boy actually, is gonna keep that one out across the face of goal one more time. Mike boy ends up leaving it. Gonna need something quick though. That's gonna be a shot blocked yet again by Creamy. He is all over the server right now. Can't get rid of him.
Yeah, he's spreading himself around, as all of the best creams should be. You know, the problem for me is all of this. I don't often like to talk about it. The tilt factor. Like this is just a really annoying game. It's been a massive failure for Redemption. They're supposed to be one of the up-and-coming teams. They are my pick to make it out of this quadrant of the bracket, but they clearly are not playing up to the same level when they're put into a matchup that they're supposed to dominate in. You know, it is a big thing to think about when you go from being the underdog and trying to, just trying to prove yourself, and then suddenly you've proven yourself and you're up against a team like the Carling Kids. The pressure is really on, and I can't say that this game has been very kind to Redemption. There have been many moments where things have just completely fallen on their face.
Well, it's an entirely different mindset, isn't it, between trying to prove yourself and realistically, there's nothing reputation-wise to gain here for Redemption.
Yeah.
This is a win and you gain nothing. Well, obviously you get your points, or lose, and no one will let you forget about it.
Yeah, especially with how, many different teams Cash has tried out on in RLCS Season X. He's been looking for a team that works for so long. And it finally looked like he'd found one here. This is the team that looks by far the most promising. And Cash as an individual is definitely a really, really good player. So he probably just wants to find, a team that
It's good of Creamy. He's giving presents out to everyone in the crowd as well.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point, actually. I didn't even think of that. He's such a generous player.
He is.
3 goals, and he's giving everybody the gifts in the post-game celebration. I imagine we're going to get more of that, because he's probably going to be the MVP every game here. But
even the ones that Redemption wins, I think Creamy will just be right in front of all 3 of the cars.
He should be. Yeah, he should be. I like that idea, to be honest. I'm a big fan of that. We should allow the MVP to be from the losing team, so you just have, the MVP right in the middle there of the
I can't think of any idea that would tilt out ranked lobbies more.
I mean, it might cause the meta to shift a little bit more more into ball chasing, as if it wasn't already ball chasing enough. But man, what a game here for the Carling Kids. What an introduction to the mainstream to take down a team like Redemption. I have to say, Redemption are a new team. A lot of people watching will not recognize the name, but you might recognize some of the players. They have been unbelievable recently in the grid. They've looked phenomenal in recent matchups with very top level teams, but they're struggling up until now. That's a great pass, however, and Cash will convert for the opening goal.
Yeah, they'll look to try and just put that last game behind them. Cash getting in front of it, and that is truly the first proper goal that Redemption have scored. After the Curling Kids just threw it into their own net, really. Impressively threw it into their own net. I'm not going to be too negative about it.
Would it be
impressive own goal?
It would be appropriate.
Oh, that's going to be another.
It's not going to happen. I was going to say it would be appropriate if the Carling Kids of all teams would get a win in a sweep. It would make a lot of sense, given how much sweeping occurs in Carling. But they're going to need to come back from behind now. This is a whole different game. It looks like Cash has changed car going into this one, switching to the Dominus, which is really interesting. That's usually something in high-level games that will happen when a player just really is not feeling like they're playing very well. They want to get a big change, and you don't get much of a bigger change than from the Octane to the Dominus.
I mean, go further. Batmobile. We need to get as flat as we possibly can. Absalon, that's a touch that would invite Rexo in. He has also got a couple of passing options that didn't want to quite take it. Redemption will be happier with how this game is going. You also on his camera settings right there?
Yeah, I can't. I just can't
very
get
difficult,
enough of this.
okay? We're holding together the best we can. It's very hard.
I like to think that is what Creamy is also doing in comms. Every time he takes off for an aerial, he's just laughing.
It's like the anti-Virtuoso. Virtuoso went around trying to create the most quiet car of all time so he could go and get his demos. Creamy wants you to know that he's on the server.
Absolutely. It's a strategy that's been employed by a few Rocket League players in the past, you know, running with the most annoying boost time to try and get inside your opponent's heads. I know Jacob used to do that with the bubble boost. It was a good one. Oh, Creamy's faked it to Rexo. The back pass does not work, though. I love the idea from Creamy here. This is so unexpected. Most players would just go for a basic clear or maybe a catch, but he actually goes for the mind game back pass. Unfortunately, no one in this lobby is on that level. Nobody, not even his teammates, were able to read it.
Creamy's turned it like into our little brother who we're determined to protect at all costs. Go on, Creamy.
Go on, son.
Oh, Rexo. Couldn't quite find it. Wait to put that one in. We're just waiting for the start of the show, really. It's going to be over the top. Rexo one more time. Looks to try and take it over the top of Ocelon. He's managed to do so. Double tap attempt. Isn't going to work. If we are going to see somehow the underdogs make this comeback happen, they're going to need a shot like this to go on in. A 3-goal lead makes even the 3 minutes remaining in this sort of start of game left. It just feels so short in comparison to how it could do.
Yeah. I mean, it's just not fair. You know, 5-minute games when Creamy's on the field, you just want to see more. You get halfway through, you're thinking, oh, come on, we're already halfway through the game. You know, the Twitch chat, they can't get enough of this.
I think we're up for changing the rules. We play, next goal wins. But we play that over and over again until not only do the Curling Kids score, but Creamy himself scores.
Yeah. I mean, that is the classic rule, isn't it? This next goal wins, but then if it comes too soon, you just say, nah, run it back. Oh, what touch! Edgeby with a very nice rebound here. I don't think the defense were expecting him to sneak that one in.
No, that was really slick by Edgeby. And he managed to bring his team right back into it. Johnny, do not press the tab button. You won't like what our lad is doing over there.
I mean, there's no better place for Cream than in a donut shop. So that's exactly what Cream is doing right now. He's got the donuts right across the board.
I want to sandbag that. That was quite good.
Okay, I don't think they show the scoreboard on the live broadcast, and nobody has to know about that.
No, we definitely don't need to put Creamy on the screen right now with the scoreboard in the bottom left.
Don't worry about it. Fine.
That'd be a real
Carrying from
shame.
the bottom. It's a proven effective strategy. There's still time, to be honest. Like, Creamy could make big plays. You know, he got a blistering hat trick in the last game. Who knows when he's going to decide to start scoring in this one. Oh, here he comes. He got the bump as well. Not onto Mike Boy. He's too quick for him. Cash has been much more of a part of Game 2 than he was in Game 1, show.
Yes. I think one of the rare times you'll be seeing Dominus be used to a good enough effect. Creamy with a shot on target.
Oh, my Boy. How did Mike Boy save that?
I don't know. I'm surprised the car didn't explode on contact.
That's unreal. What a save by Mike Boy. Top 3 plays when? That's what I'm wondering. Still time left for the Curling Kids, but credit to Redemption, they're taking down some of the toughest opposition that we've ever seen in RLCS Season X here. And they've looked good while doing it.
Oh, that's just so quick, though, from Cash. He's up to 4. 4 goals. We've seen the Curling Kids happily put the ball in their own net. They're happy to share, and Cash is out here with 4 goals. How greedy.
I love it. I mean, this is one of the best players to play in a Dominus, I think. I've always said, you know, Dominus, it will bring the wild side out of any Rocket League player, and Cash's wild side is definitely his good side. So I want to see plenty more of that. What a dunk. Edgeby gets his 2nd goal of the game. Still hope for the Curling Kids.
Edgeby has all the goals, he's got all the saves, and he looks to be the lifeline if we are going to see the Curling Kids somehow get back into Game 2. Very little time for them to do so, though, and they've got to get this next play nice and quick. Creamy off the kickoff, does lose it to his own back corner. Rexo wasn't quite ready for it, though, so the play's going to be a little bit slower than they wanted. Pass over to the midfield. Creamy. Shot will be blocked. Over to Edgeby, who's going to have to try and force the challenge. Ocelon, very well versed in how to try and deal with those sorts of plays. As long as there's no missteps anymore from Redemption, then they should be taking game number 2. And for the Curling Kids, brought a little bit back down to earth here against an opponent of this caliber.
Yeah, they're going to be okay with that, though. You know, curling is a sport that doesn't really leave the ground very often. I don't think I've, in fact, ever seen any aerials in that game. So this is fine. You know, they've just given everybody what they wanted. They know that if they sweep this, even if it is what we expected, it's not really what the fans want. They want to see 5 games of the Curling Kids in action. They want to see 5 games of Creamy ho-hoing all around the field with the boost trail. And this is just the beginning. We're 1-1 now. Redemption stepping up to the plate. What a series it has been so far. But I think as much as we're going to talk about Redemption in the coming weeks and months, I'm sure, because they are definitely a team to watch, we have to talk about the Curling Kids. Creamy, just a true intellectual in every way, shape, and form. With, the highlight of the game for me was actually a failed fake back pass, like we mentioned during the game.
Now, would this series look any different if we had ball curve on? Does curling also apply to the ball?
I have to think that if we put on some kind of mutator, curveball, or something to that effect,
maybe the hockey.
Yeah, hockey as well.
It'll be similar.
Curling Kids, like I said, they've got the extremely high IQ, so they would probably be the faster team to learn under those new conditions. Luckily for Redemption, I believe that is not currently possible in RLCS Season X, so we're not going to be seeing any curveball.
It's a real shame, that. Here we go then, game number 3. And one series that didn't need to go to game 5, like we're hoping this one will, as this shot is on target. Rexo will give them the lead. And over on our sister stream, UGC, it is currently a sweep for Wolves Esports, so they'll be moving on through to the next round.
Yeah, Wolves Esports are a team that the Curling Kids took to game 5 in the upper bracket. Another dangerous bubble team right now, just on trying to get into that conversation for top 16. And yeah, that result makes a lot of sense now after seeing a couple of games of the Curling Kids on the field. There's definitely some real competition here. But will they be able to take down Redemption? Oh my goodness, what a result that would be. That would honestly impress me so much, even with Redemption not really showing up in game 1. I think game 2 Redemption and what we'll see from now on was more like it from them, more like what we expected to see from them.
Yeah, one thing I would like to see a little bit less of from the Curling Kids is there's a lot of hits they do from the wall that sort of bounces the ball back into the midfield without any real intent of knowing who's supposed to be next. If they can just clean that up a little bit, as we do have a one-on-one. Mike Boy against Rexo! And Mike Boy, he managed to slot through the narrowest of gaps to try and get to that ball.
Yeah, that was a great save by Mike Boy. The air dribble bump looked pretty good. I think he did a really good job of getting ahead of that ball, making it very difficult to save. Oh my goodness! Talking about good saves. Reflexes coming out of the Curling Kids. Are we going to see them peak even higher?
Is it possible? I don't think so. I think
it might be.
It's always a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, can they go 11 out of 10? That is the question.
No,
hasn't been done before.
Let's not go breaking science here. Okay, there's only so many numbers out. You're going to save that. If you are going to remove the legendary Creamy from defense, you better make sure that you are going to save that ball. And he managed to do so.
A boost. He just needed a boost, Shogun. He says, can you give me a boost? I need to get out of this position. His teammate was happy to give it to him. Little tag team defensive maneuver. They're innovating. As we watch here. Oh, that's off the bar. And wide on the rebound for Ocelot. What a chance Redemption have missed to equalize.
Okay, well, I kind of thought that one was definitely going in. Instead, we remain at a 1-goal lead as... Okay, can we stop with the back passes, though? I don't feel comfortable with these anymore, Curling Kids. As that's going to drop down. Cash is just... What? He is attacking everybody.
Yeah, it's this one of those positions where everybody was so close to the ball, but nobody had any momentum. So they just kind of sat there awkwardly and waited for something to happen. Well, great pass, but shut down well by Creamy. He's right at another in a 2v1. Decides to leave Edgeby to it, and with confident flicks from that, like that from Edgeby, I can see why. He's gone wide, and you wish that he did have some support there from the Curling Kids. They had too much confidence in him with the solo play.
Who still also have that 1-goal lead. Now, if they can protect, they'll put themselves onto match point against Redemption.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous to think of. Especially with 82%, I believe it was, expecting Redemption to take this.
Yeah, I think
that's not a criticism either way.
No, it's fair. If we ran that back, though, I bet the Curling Kids would win the fan vote by an absolute mile. After seeing just one game here, that was probably enough to sway at least.
We get to find out. If they win this series, we get to find out.
Oh, that's right. Listen, you guys have got to prove yourselves. If Curling Kids advance here, it doesn't matter who they're up against. Like, you've got to vote them to win to make up for voting them to lose this one.
It's going to be Edgeby. It's the midfield, though. Over to Mike Boy. He'll put it back down to Cash one more time. What a play!
Wow.
And there is no way you're going to keep something like that out.
Beautiful 1-2 play. Mike Boy fakes the shot, drills the pass towards Cash, and that one did not get read by Creamy. There was two defenders. Both of them had their eye on the shot. That was all they're expecting, but Mike Boy surprises them with the pass back.
Now Mike Boy from the kickoff. He's going to try and bait out a defensive mistake. Isn't going to quite happen, but I almost called them the Creamy Kids. There, it's actually the Curling Kids. As Cash looks to try and take this, and he will. 2-1 up. And Redemption right back to where they feel they should have been this entire series.
Yeah, Cash again at the center of it all. That's 6 goals in a row between games 2 and 3 for him. We talked about it, or the desk talked about him before the game. He's, been a name that's in the mouths of many analysts and fans of the Rocket League esports scene, but without any real results to show for it until now. Back pass from Creamy again, from a position that really nobody expected it to happen. Now passing off the wall, but it looks like the third man's been demoed out of the play.
And now Ocelon puts that pressure on. If he can get one more, it'll steal the game. Straight across the face of goal. Now Rexo takes it past Cash. Steals the boost, keeps the play going. Is there anyone in the midfield to really get that ball towards? Creamy pops the ball one more time. He's going to try and follow Ocelon just a little bit too quick. And now Redemption have just got to hold off one more bit of offense. If this ball touches the floor, it is game over. Creamy against Cash in midair. Creamy wins the race. Up to Rexo. He wins the race. Edgeby wants to try and take on Mike Boy, and Mike Boy is a little bit too quick. The pinch back into the midfield one more time. Double commit. It's all on Creamy to keep this going. Off the backboard. He'll miss it. Rexo gets it to ricochet off Cash. Will this end? Cash clears the ball long. Creamy's got a lot of work to do, and he couldn't quite get to it. Redemption get double match point.
What a game. And credit to the Curling Kids keeping that alive for as long as they did at the end. I'm pretty sure that was not a case where Redemption were interested in Rule 1, but they got the win. They now have a double match point. That's huge. If the Curling Kids went up by 1 here, Redemption's heads could so easily go down. Just like earlier on in the series, they didn't get a good start here. If they go backed up into a corner, I don't know if that's where they're going to perform at their best. They've been reverse swept a few times recently by Galaxy Racers, so clearly when the momentum goes against them, it can stay that way. However, it's currently on their side. It's 2 games in a row for Redemption. Cash has really stepped up offensively, and the whole team are functioning a lot more effectively as a unit. We're not seeing the awkward positioning that we had in game 1, where nobody really knew what was going on. So credit to Redemption. They've turned this one around, but it's still a series. We've got a 2-1 lead for them. Let's see if we will get a game 5.
Yeah, the way Cash is playing right now, the only way I can see this level dropping is if he somehow slips and switches right back over to the Octane. Because Dominus Cash, very, very threatening, and unfortunately for the Curling Kids, he has not done that. Still over in that Dominus, and he's going to look to be just as effective here in game 4 as he has been in games 2 and 3. That's downfield. It's a little bit more of an open play style right now by the Curling Kids. They've tried to outpace a little bit more. I think that's a good idea as well. When you've seen what the individual players of Redemption can do, I don't think you would try and take them on in a slow-paced battle of mechanics for all too long. Although Rex,
look at
though,
that.
he's got past 2, wants to take the challenge against Cash, who plants himself right in the middle and waits for the challenge to come on in.
Yeah, solid defense from Cash. Rex, though, with a couple of mind games, had Redemption on the back foot there. Had them in reverse momentarily, but I've got to say I like what I see from the Curling Kids up until now. No panic. They're just sticking to what they know. They're sticking to their game plan. And there hasn't really been a point in this series where they've been completely outplayed, which is sort of what I was expecting going into this. I'm not going to lie. I expected at least one of the games to be a total blowout. Now, Cash has been succeeding offensively a whole lot, but the Curling Kids have been fighting back with goals of their own and pressure plays of their own. And once again, they are getting some opportunities in offense.
You need to try and convert some of those. Creamy pops the ball over to Edge B. Rexo in the midfield. That's over the top of Mike Boy. Rexo gets his chance.
Oh, wow.
And Cash has read it. Cash has had a phenomenal series for himself ever since that switch.
Yeah, it's just a lot harder to read when he plays Dominus. Cash is, just like I said earlier on in the series, he is a crazy player, and he's got some really creative ideas. And he finds himself out of those really weird positions with his insane mechanical ability. And with the longer card, you're just gonna have a harder time reading it if you're playing up against it. So I really like that pick for him. I think it brings a lot more unpredictability to the Redemption squad.
Midfield, Cash. Heavy first touch, so Creamy did try to get to it. He's not going to beat Cash in the air. Still 0-0 here. In a game that has to be won by the Curling Kids, otherwise they are going to be eliminated. Rexo, does he want to pass it over to Edge B? Edge B didn't quite have the boost for that one. Instead, they're going to play it a little bit slower. Look towards the backboard. It's off the crossbar. No follow-up on that left-hand side for the Curling Kids. They can't take the first-time shot, and Cash will find himself a half volley to get rid of the pressure.
Yeah, that was another situation where everybody missing actually fakes out the goalkeeper and allows the ball to go through uncontested, almost directly in from the ceiling shot. I'd say up until now, the Curling Kids have had the slight edge in this game. And I do imagine Redemption are just playing safe at the moment. They don't want to throw away this little match point situation that they've got for themselves and just go straight into a Game 5 off a misplay or two. But it's not the misplays that have been the Curling Kids' problems all that often. They've had some miscommunication, some mishits, but this game has been extremely solid up until now.
Mike Boy's touch. He'll try and follow that one up. He's on no boost. He's actually passed it straight over to Edge B. That shot didn't have anything on it. Creamy shot directly into Ocelon. And now it's a chance to break away. Just so many of the Curling Kids didn't really have much of a defensive strategy there. It was just crowd the ball on the way back. If we have everyone attack this like we're like a police car trying to stop a speeding car in the main road, maybe we can stop the offense. This one, though, that is a rocket from Rexo.
And maybe Redemption have given the Curling Kids a bit too much space here. They're waiting in defense for the mistake to come in, for the free goal on the counter, and it hasn't happened in almost 4 minutes of gameplay. Now the Curling Kids have found a way through. Offensively, they look great here. They are not overcommitting, but they are creating some really good chances on net. HP's got the backboard covered. No luck for Cash.
Well, they were in this position in the last game. They ended up losing it 2-1 in regulation. Got to try and hold on to it this time around. Creamy. To that corner. He's not going to have anyone in the midfield to pass to, but I would expect this is going to be a very plain rotation from the Curling Kids. They do not want any mistakes. Just make sure one player is on the ball, always trying to pressure the other team. Make sure they're not allowed anything free, but here comes Cash. Instantly onto it is Creamy, though. Dives on through. Mike Boy, he's going to go hunting for Rexo, and Rexo will avoid it. 20 seconds here for the Curling Kids to send us to Game 5.
And what a bizarre series this will be if we do end up in a Game 5. Redemption had 2 wins in a row up until now. Cash was in a 6-goal spree, but he's been scoreless up until this point. But now Mike Boy, with 6 seconds left, sees an open net staring him in the face. And oh my goodness, Edgeby faked off the play by Ocelot.
And it was the worst possible scenario for the Curling Kids. 2 players get outpaced, and there was far too much left to do. They've now got to find themselves a goal. They might get a chance here. Creamy didn't quite get there before Mike Boy. Going to drop down again. Are they going to try for another 0-second play? Creamy getting very far back. It's going to be a defensive showing. Here, Osman to take it at 0 seconds. His shot is blocked, but it's Redemption's turn to have a go at the 0-second mark. They weren't quite able to do it, and now it's overtime to see if this series will continue.
Will the viewers back home get what they want? I know everybody's hoping for a Game 5 here to finish off what has been a brilliant series the best way possible. Creamy's going to try and give it to them with a flip reset mind game. It's technically a wide open net for Edgeby on their left side. Cash had the right side covered, and now Mike Boy on the counter. Creamy's the only player in his way, but he will get a challenge in.
Ocelot goes down the line. Mike Boy wants to make life very difficult for the defenders. Goes for the infield pass. Here is Cash. Doesn't try to take it to net. Saw the challenge coming on. Didn't know where that ball was going to go after the fact, but here is Creamy. Musty flick. Didn't quite get it as quite how he wanted to. He saw the headlines already. Creamy scores musty flick to send them to Game 5. All still here to play for.
Creamy skips past one. No boost in the play, and he had to back off. Still, the ball pressure on the recoveries working out well for the Curling Kids. Redemption have got the pressure. They've got the possession. They've got Cash on the ball. The reset landed a bit late for him. It looks like the Curling Kids will hold on for now. Ostalon whiffs his back wall read, but the whole team's here for Redemption. Lots of deep rotations coming in for both teams.
Here is Cash yet again. He's getting a lot of time unchallenged. This one was just Creamy, determined to not let that happen again. He dived on through, but now Ostalon one-on-one. Cash is also trying to threaten the goal into that bottom corner. And the Curling Kids, as fun as they have been, are eliminated by Redemption.
Cash with the block onto Edgeby. Edgeby had to hit the brakes there just to not get bumped on the goal line. That's why he slowed down, lost all his momentum. And with that little burst of speed, Ostalon put it past him. Great finish to what has been a great series. The Curling Kids showing up with an incredibly entertaining style. And honestly, you know, Creamy, I think, made everyone in chat a fan with his car design alone. But they're a lot more than that. They were actually a challenge for Redemption here. More so than I was expecting. But Redemption, who are my pick to make it out of this segment of the bracket, they're going to take a big sigh of relief now. Because they've got another matchup coming in later on today against Stollery, which should be a great series based on what we've seen from both of those teams so far.
Johnny, you must have been loving that because either the Curling Kids move on through or you get to be right. There was no real losing here for you in this series. But that was fantastically good fun. I would feel like there's some evolution to come, though, from the Curling Kids. Not necessarily in playstyle, but I want to see like each of them have their own holiday. So I want to see some Halloween items next time, some Easter items. You know, just give us a little bit of everything
more
next time we get
themed cars. Yeah, that's the way to go for them. I think that it might, in fact, have been something in this matchup more than just a gimmick. It's taking the eyes off the ball when your opponents are watching you. So that's something to think about, perhaps.
Well, two teams that need to keep their eyes on the ball are coming up next as we have Endpoint against Dignitas to see who will stay alive in this bracket.